And you think Gyökeres is going to go to Arsenal? Yeah, you think he'd pick Arsenal ahead of United?
I'm pretty sure that any player right now, and I say this with a smile on my face.
Yeah. But why did you say it with a smile?
Because obviously we're Arsenal, Man United, and we've had our banter going on for years. But listen, I believe that if we could go back to the 2000s, even then it was hard who you're going to pick, Arsenal or Manchester United, right? Because they were both obviously winning league titles, and they were the two top teams in the country.
You think it's
no
question.
Now there's no way in hell any top player chooses Manchester United over Arsenal. It just doesn't happen. Manchester United that finished 15th with no Champions League football. They're having leaks at Old Trafford. There's mice. It's mice infested, right? It's everything is just about the club. The club is rock bottom. It's the worst it's ever been. It's the worst ever Manchester United side. Your own manager has said that. It's a complete shit show. Let's have it right. So there's no way someone is choosing that to go over there to a team that's going to be fighting, in your own words as well, scraping to get in the top 10 next season. When we all know, no matter what anyone says, Arsenal are going to be right in that title race next year. We've just made the last four of the Champions League. So there's no way anyone in the right mind, unless it's simply for money, or maybe someone who was a huge Man United fan, possibly, that could sway them. But I don't think any top player now chooses Manchester United over Arsenal. I think that's where we're at.
I'm going to be honest. You know I always am, right? I love Man United, and the banter aside, I'm going to be very honest. I think that Ronaldo interview when, he basically left United.
Yeah.
And the geezer was basically saying in not so many words, he was basically saying in the swimming pool there, he's basically cutting his foot every time he goes in the swimming pool. The tiles have come up on the swimming pool. He goes in the sauna, it's bloody freezing cold.
Yeah. He said they had the same facilities.
Yeah.
20
That's what
years
I'm saying.
later.
He never said what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But that's practically
he did say some of that stuff.
That's practically what he's saying, bro.
Yeah.
Like, hitting the gym, dumbbells are everywhere.
Yeah.
He's still using the same leg extension Roy Keane was probably using to fix his cruciate.
That's what I'm saying.
The place is a joke thing.
Yeah.
He goes to the canteen, they're probably serving like alphabet spaghetti. Luke Shaw's munching alphabet spaghetti there with his bloody baguette.
Yeah.
Sancho's gaming in the corner.
Exactly.
Ronaldo's thinking, this place is a disgrace. Yeah. And any player that watched that, why would they pick us?
Exactly.
Why
you come to Arsenal, you got Win the Dog, you got Arteta getting you pickpocketed, good family feel at the club.
This was my next thing. This was my next thing. Why would you come to United based on all of that? On the other hand, you've got Arsenal, who are heading in the right direction, haven't won a single thing. You've got the manager pickpocketing his own players, right? So it's a choice between catching a Veruca or getting robbed, between these two clubs at the moment. This is where we're at, right? At least at United, you're winning some silverware, even if it's Mickey Mouse Cups, FA Cups, Carabao Cups, Europa, Budget League, whatever you want to call it. Arsenal are slowly turning into...
Europe, so there's no chance.
No, of course not. I hear that, yeah? Arsenal are slowly turning into, and you said earlier, my own words, I'm going to bring your own words back. You don't want to turn into Tottenham.
Yeah, that is true.
And if you're a player, you could easily be looking at Arsenal and be like, is this turning into Tottenham? Where they can't get a trophy? They can't win the big one. You're not going to ever quite be Tottenham.
Yeah, but I think any top player, they have egos, these players. And they can think, you know what? I can be the one. I can be the signing. We sign, like say we sign Rodrigo or a Sesko or whoever it might be. And they think, you know what? I can be the player to get Arsenal over the line.
Let me ask you
Declan Rice chose Arsenal, right?
Totally, yeah.
And let me just speak to Andy, because I saw something with John Obi Mikel, right? I think his podcasts are really, really good.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
And he said when it was with United and Chelsea, remember, he had the top in the Man United shirt and everything.
Yeah.
He said, he thought to himself, do you know what? Man United have won everything. They've done it all. Chelsea are just starting. He goes, I want to be part of...
I get it, but every African player goes and plays for Chelsea.
Yeah, but he wanted to be part of
the
new team that was winning. Do you know what I mean? Because they hadn't won for so long. Whereas he goes to United, you lot were just winning leagues. It's just like, oh yeah, picking up another league
You
title.
go barbershop, African uncle walks in.
Yeah.
What you saying, Barth? Who do you support? They all say Chelsea.
Didier Drogba did that for them.
So I'm not sure I can trust John Obi Mikel saying he chose it for that reason. His dad probably said to him.
What I'm trying to say is that Declan Rice, right? He could have went to Arsenal or City. He goes to City, he wins the league title. It's just like, okay, he wins the league title. Declan Rice wins the league title with Arsenal.
It's massive.
It's massive.
I get your
There's
point.
going to be 500,000
But
people
based on
in
that
Islington,
thought process,
and we're going to be saying Declan Rice was one of the main reasons we won the Premier
I
League.
understand. So
And
based
he
on
very nearly did it off signing him.
yeah, based on that thought process,
Yeah.
though, you got to be really honest with yourself. Based on that thought process, if someone comes to United, a Gyökeres, that's who we're
Yeah.
talking about, and becomes our new Eric Cantona, which is the man that won us the league, basically.
Yeah.
He was that next.
Well, I said already, old Tuna could be.
Yeah, but imagine
Cunha could be your new Eric Cantona.
imagine Gyökeres does that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's bigger for your stature as a folk hero in
Mm.
football, getting United to win the Premier League again from where they are now, or winning a Premier League with Arsenal?
Yeah, but he's 27 years old.
But I'm
Or
asking you that
26,
question.
27.
I'm asking you that question. You said a whole bunch of people in Islington
Yeah.
are going to be they're going to rate him as a god.
Yeah.
Whoever wins Man United the Premier League next,
Yeah, but you're so far away from that now. There's no
I'm
player that can do that now.
you don't think so?
No, well, you're not going to
I don't think so either. But what I'm saying is, we're talking.
maybe in the next, let's say 7 or 8 years, it would take you at least.
Bro. All these people, these agents, these
Yeah.
people, they're all salespeople.
Of course.
They're all saying to this player, Gyökeres, when he sits down, hey, mate, we've just signed old Tuna,
Yeah.
right? We're getting Mbeumo in.
Mm.
We're getting you in. We're going to have a big push. I just read now on Sky Sports that Barada
Mm.
released that in 2028 we're winning the title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that before.
We can all say that,
Yeah.
right? But I'm going off of what these men are selling to these players.
Another thing with Grokius, obviously his age is 26 or 27, right? And obviously Sesko, I think, just turned 22. There'll be less pressure on Sesko as there would be for Grokius,
Yeah.
especially because of his goal record. Everyone would be expecting goals. So with Sesko, he's only got 13 goals in the Bundesliga last season. There'll be that, okay, you're not a bagsman like that. But another thing on that is, everyone keeps saying, oh, he only scored 13 goals in Bundesliga, right? Playing in a much poorer side. You put Saka whipping the balls into a 6'5" striker.
I get it. I
right?
get it. Yeah.
It's going to be different.
I haven't seen enough of him
Yeah.
to pass a
And
judgment.
if you see Isaac, right? Isaac for
Yeah.
Newcastle, he got 4 goals for
Yeah,
Real
it's crazy. It's
Sociedad.
crazy.
Now I remember thinking, oh mate, but you could see there was a player in him. So
I get it. I just
but
think
the main thing is Arsenal. You need to get the business done because I know we're still only in June, but honestly,
What did they bid for it?
yeah, 39 million.
I mean,
It feels like everyone is now doing business. Chelsea have signed Delap and a few other players they've signed. United have signed Cunha, right?
yeah, it's slowed down for United.
Man
now.
City have signed 2 absolute
Oh my
ballers.
gosh, mate. Yeah.
That fella from AC Milan is
Yeah, yeah,
unbelievable.